Coming up this week, it's the women's edition of UB Basketball Insider, as women's head coach Felicia Leggett joins me to talk about last year's Mid-American Conference Championship and how they're setting to work on getting another one. We'll focus on the key players returning and the new players who will help out. It is UB Basketball Insider Women's Edition, and we get it tipped off right now.
Here's how we win championships.
The game is tied. 3.4 seconds left.
Plenty of time to get a shot off. Catherine Upps is the inbounder here.
Catherine Upps will get it in to Stephanie Reed. She might be the one to take this final shot. She tosses it.
Oh!
Good!
Oh!
The Bulls have got it! Stephanie Reed, a buzzer-beating shot to win the MAC postseason title. The Bulls are going dancing from 8th place to history. We're going dancing!
This is Buffalo. We are the Bulls.
Well, welcome to UB Basketball Insider. My name is Paul Peck, joined by women's basketball coach Felicia Leggett. Jack, you can't watch that stuff enough, can you? The celebration and the wonderful moments of the MAC championship last year still got to be pretty cool for you to look at.
Well, it is really cool because, we're going through it right now. The 7 a.m.s practice, the running, the jumping, the mile and a half, the champions, and this tough stuff that you get you ready for the season. And then you go and see what can come out of that after you watch the video of us celebrating. That's what it's all about. It's the end result. And so we look at that every now and again, and when we're having our tough days of getting up at 6 in the morning to realize this is not what we're doing it for. And so, yes, that's exciting for that reason there, but we know that we have a lot of work to do for the upcoming season.
When we talked with Nate Oates on our show a week ago, he emphasized part of his challenge is getting his players to kind of forget about that. Remember its wonderful moments, but realize we're in a new season now. Have you had to do any of that with your team? Have you had to emphasize that, hey, that was last year, this is this year?
No, I mean, I just think that you don't ever forget about things like that. A lot of times coaches want us to remember about what's bad. And I want them to remember about what's good. This is what can happen through this mile and a half run when you do it for under 9 minutes, when you hit those champions and it's 15 in a row and do it again and then do it again and then do it again. This is what can come out of it. This is, I want you to see what you've done. But now I want you to want more. And so our words for this season is better is better. Don't just do something because you're doing it. You got to get better every single possession, every single practice, and this is what can be the results of it.
I know that you are always a forward-thinking coach, but have you allowed yourself to reflect a little bit on the wonderful run that your team went through last year, to come from 8th place, to have beaten the regular season champion Ohio 3 times, to have won the MAC championship, to have gone up against an Ohio State in the NCAA tournament? When you do, if you have reflected a little bit, what jumps out at you?
Well, the resiliency of my kids, I've worked in basketball. This is my 28th season, and I've been on a lot of teams where I had to continue to convince them to go harder and try and believe and trust the journey. And this team here of last year helped me believe in the journey again, helped me understand that what I say matters because they were going to hold on to every word. We went on a stretch of winning 5 games in 8 days, and we had to take it on the road to do it. I saw the most resilient kids I've ever encountered, and it gave me hope again. And not that I've lost hope, but it just makes me want to continue on this journey. And it's not about me anymore. I've done some really good things as a player. I've done some really good things as a coach. My journey now in my last years or whatever in this business is to make certain I can look kids in the eyes and tell them a story, and they believe and they buy in, and we become a unit.
Last year, maybe there was some degree of you weren't expected to do what you did. Maybe there were teams in the conference that overlooked you. They're the 8th seed. We're not going to worry about that. Well, now that you've won the MAC championship, there will be no more overlooking you. Every team has got your game probably circled on their schedule saying we can make our season by beating the team that won the MAC championship last year. So how have you gotten your ladies prepared for that aspect?
Well, it started the day I began coaching. It's never been about my opponent. It's never been about another person looking at us and saying they're not good enough, so let's beat them. It's not they're better than us. Let's show them they're not as good. Your thoughts, I can't control how people see us, but we can control what we believe in. And what's going to stay true to who we are is we're going to defend all the way to the bus. We're going to be passionate, even if it makes people uncomfortable. We're going to question every single thing that happens against our team during that 40 minutes that we're out there, and we will not make excuses of who we are. That's what we can control. We can't control how somebody sees us, and we're not going to get up or down because somebody respects us or disrespects us, because at the end of the day, it's about the people that's in our locker room, and that's what we can control.
Well, the people that are in your locker room are almost exactly the same as the people that were in that celebration locker room, which is a huge advantage for Felicia. She brings back 88% of her scoring from last year. We will break down some of the specific players that will be key performers for the Bulls this year. That's our next segment when we return to UB Basketball Insider.
Right wing Hamilton. He shoots a three. He hits.
Oh, yes! Ice water in that man's face!
The Bulls are going dancing from 8th place to history.
From banner raisings to buzzer beaters, don't miss a minute of action. Get your tickets today. Call 877-UB-THERE or visit ubbulls.com. This segment of UB Basketball Insider is brought to you by Town BMW, the official automotive partner of UB Athletics. The 2015-16 women's basketball season was one to remember as the Bulls made a magical run during the Mid-American Conference Tournament and won their first MAC championship and made their first ever NCAA tournament appearance in the process. The Bulls became the lowest seed in tournament history to win the championship as they wrapped up the season with a 20-14 record, their first 20-win campaign since 1996-97. Joanna Smith led the charge for the Bulls offensively last year as the Athletics shooting guard was the most improved scorer in the nation, averaging 18.3 points per game. That's more than a 12-point jump in her scoring from her sophomore campaign. Smith was also able to become just the 4th player in UB history to earn first-team All-MAC honors. Backcourt mate Stephanie Reed made a huge impact at the point for the Bulls as she earned 3rd-team All-MAC and All-MAC defensive team honors.
Welcome back to UB Basketball Insider. My name is Paul Peck, joined by Bulls women's head coach Felicia Leggett-Jack. Felicia's team gets their regular season started, and it comes up on Friday, November 11th, when they host UMass at 7 o'clock right here at Alumni Arena. Well, I mentioned you've got 88% of your scoring back from last year. You have your entire starting lineup back from last year. That doesn't happen very often in college basketball, and it certainly doesn't happen when that returning lineup has already won a conference championship. So how much of a good mood are you in about knowing that you've got this same team back again?
I'm excited. I really am. These young ladies have worked really hard to change how our community, how the country sees women's basketball here at University at Buffalo, and to have these young ladies join me when it was not very easy to join this program and to stick with it and to earn the opportunity to be called MAC champions. It's amazing. It's humbling, but to know that they're coming back, I just see the work. It's just still haven't been done yet. We have so much more to do, so much more work to accomplish, and I just know that I sent them home for the first time. I usually am a micromanaging kind of a person, like stay here, go to summer school, and I let them go home because I trust this group, and they came back, and they just blasted through preseason. So they're mature. They're as ready as they can be. They want more, and I'm excited that they're here.
Let's start with Joanna Smith, who had the incredible season, first-team All-MAC last year, averaging 18 points a game. She goes from 5 to 18, so can we assume she's going from 18 to 31 points per game this year?
We can assume. We can absolutely assume. I tell you, I had no idea until I read a stat that she led the nation in the biggest turnaround in point production from 5-point-something to 18-point-something. It wasn't our goal to do that. Our goal is to have her understand that if we're going to have success, she she would have to be the major reason behind it. She accepted that challenge and got in the gym, and she's in the gym now. I mean, she just wants to be great. And this summer, we were talking about who's going to return and how great it's going to be. And she got emotional. And I said, well, Joanne, this is summer. What are you emotional about? She said, Coach, I only got one more year left. I don't want to leave. This feels so awesome. I enjoy every single day being with this program. And I just am so excited to have somebody like her with me.
All right, now you got good news a couple weeks ago that you're going to get an extra year for Cassie Ausler, so she'll be here for 2 more years. But because she came in the middle of the year last year and it took her a little while to get comfortable, what kind of benefits can we see from her with a full season ready to go on your front line?
Well, one thing that you're going to see is her stretch her talents. I mean, she's usually a back to the basket, one side of the block only, can go over the left shoulder. We're taking her over both shoulders right now. We're hitting that free throw jump shot, and she's extended her game out to the three-point line. And she said, Coach, I can't make these threes. I said, I didn't ask you to make them. I said, I asked you to take them. And eventually we're going to get her to make them. I think her defense is a lot better. We're working with a couple people in our community about how to work her laterally. I mean, she looks more athletic than she's ever looked. And to know that she has 2 more years with us, I tell you what, this kid, as long as she continues to want to learn, her ability is going to soar out of this building.
Right. And then the other person who I thought played really well down the stretch and really flashed signs of being a fantastic player is Brittany Morrison.
Yeah.
And now after her freshman year, she's comfortable, she's back. What are the role do you see for her?
She's trying to extend her game a little bit as well. She's trying to get that free throw jump shot down. I said to Brittany, just stay on that block at 5'9". I know you're an undersized post player, but who can stop you? I mean, she might be the strongest young lady I've ever encountered. I mean, there's no way she's going to get to the free throw line, or you're going to be in a hospital. I mean, she is just coming through you. And her magic is the fact that she went home and got in shape. So she can run the floor. She can get transition buckets for us. And you can see her on the point of that press a little bit, too.
Right now, we talk about all the ladies that are coming back, but you do have some new players, and one of them that fans should expect to see an awful lot of is someone they may already know from right here at O'Hara High School in Buffalo, and that's Summer Hemphill.
Summer's very athletic. She can grab the rim. She's going to obviously be in the front of our point of our press a little bit. She can hit the three-point shot, and she doesn't really know how good she is yet, and right now she's just so giddy about being here at Buffalo. It's really, really cool to know local kids are getting excited about wanting to stay home and play for Western New York School here at University at Buffalo. We used to be a viable option. She's showing everyone that we're a destination now. And so our goal is not only to bring her here and develop her and Cassie, but to also bring all the local kids to know that this place can rock out if those Western New York kids decide to stay home and come play for us.
Well, you may be wondering, how is it that we haven't mentioned the lady that hit the winning basket in the MAC championship game? That would be Stephanie Reed. She's got her own segment, and that is next on UB Basketball Insider.
Right wing Hamilton. He shoots a 3. He hits.
Oh, yes! Ice water in that man's face!
The Bulls are going dancing from 8th place to history.
From banner raisings to buzzer beaters, don't miss a minute of action. Get your tickets today. Call 877-UB-THERE or visit ubbulls.com. This segment of UB Basketball Insider is brought to you by CEFQ. For all your banking, insurance, and investment needs, visit your local branch or go to cefq.com.
Welcome back to UB Basketball Insider. For hitting the game-winning shot in the Mid-American Conference Championship last year, Bulls guard Stephanie Reed will always be a hero from here in Western New York all the way to her native Australia. But now she's set to work on topping that with maybe another memorable moment. We learn more about the Bulls junior point guard in this week's CEFQ Player Profile.
Hi, I'm Stephanie Reed, and I'm a junior on the UB women's basketball team. There's nothing like college basketball anywhere in the world. I mean, and anyone can tell you that. I mean, the opportunity to play at such a high level in front of such great crowds, it's just something you can never replicate anywhere else. So being able to come here in the USA and do it was just a goal of mine since I was 6. Having Courtney here was a big thing for me, and I always wanted to go to school with her, but when it became a reality, it was just so unbelievable. We couldn't really believe it. I mean, I've travelled America and I've been to the tourist spots, but it's like Buffalo's just like a home. Like it's just like it's a great community. I love it here. It's just so different to anywhere I've ever been. It's just, everyone's so welcoming and friendly. I love the atmosphere of Buffalo.
3.4 seconds left. Plenty of time to get a shot off. Catherine Ups is the inbounder here.
When we were sitting in the timeout, honestly, I was so in the moment. Honestly, when we went out there, I didn't really know what was going on. So coming off the screen, I knew I had the ball. She said, Steph, you got 3.4 seconds, that's 2 dribbles. And I said, okay, well, this play's clearly drawn up for me, so I better do something with it.
Catherine Ups will get it in to Stephanie Reed. She might be the one to take this final shot. She tosses it.
Oh!
Good! And buzzer! Stephanie Reed, a buzzer-beating shot to win the MAC postseason title. The Bulls are going dancing.
So honestly, my mind was scattered, but I was just really fortunate to hit that shot and give us the opportunity to win. It's just that moment that you're never going to forget. And, you know, jumping into Cassie's arms, I mean, she's my best friend, and we were both together in that moment. It was just like such a big thing. And then you have the team running out straight after it. Like, it's a picture in your mind you'll never forget. And I mean, that's why it's my background on my phone. I mean, it's really exciting, but I mean, it's a team sport, and everyone in that team that year was a part of that. And we worked so hard all year to have that opportunity and to give Buffalo this championship. And I mean, it means the world to me to be a part of it, but it's unbelievable. It's something you'll never forget, and we want to just keep providing that. We want to keep bringing championships back to Buffalo. We don't want to stop at one.
Well, it's always fun to watch that moment of Stephanie Reed scoring that basket. But beyond the moment, how has it changed Stephanie as a person and as a player heading into this year?
Well, it just kind of solidified why we really needed her to come in and play right away when she got off the plane in the middle of the year. Some people like to redshirt their kid and let her have a full year. We needed her right then. I think she's mature beyond her age. I think she sees the game a little bit in slow motion. This year now, she's a better three-point shooter, and she doesn't have to do as much work with the ball because Lisa Ups is developing as a great point guard again. And so she's going to play off guard a little bit too, just to direct from without the ball. Now, we know how special she can be with the ball. When she doesn't have the ball, she knows how to pull everybody in to understand what we need to be doing.
Right, and she's a leader for you as well, too, and I think you'll tell me she's always been a leader, but do you get a little more confidence as a leader when you've achieved some of the things that she has?
Well, I hope so, because I gave her the keys to the Mercedes from day one. She's been my general since day one. She thinks like me. She responds like me. She gets excited when we're down. She gets more excited when we're up, and she feeds off of my energy as better than I've ever had in my entire coaching career, as from a point guard perspective. So now with her hitting that shot, she understands why she's the chosen one. And I think that you're going to see a lot more excitement from her.
Right. The schedule gets started officially on Friday night when Felicia's team hosts UMass here at UB at Alumni Arena here at UB. But you got a lot of home games this year.
Yes.
We look at the schedule. You see home games against Niagara and Central Florida and Hofstra and St. Bonaventure. Do you like the way the early season schedule lays out?
I do. I think it's time. You know, we went away a lot our first few years here, and now I think that what we've done in the past, the community is going to want to embrace us and want to come out and join our program. My goal is to average 3,000 fans. Is that ridiculous? And when you've only been averaging 800 to 1,000, I don't think so. I think this community is ripe and ready to support their women's MAC champion team. And I think that what our kids are going to do is embrace the fans when they do show up. So by working hard and leaving it out there and ultimately winning basketball games.
All right, well, that gets started this coming Friday with the home opener, regular season opener against UMass here at Alumni Arena. Going to be a lot of fun talking to you throughout the year, because I know there's a lot of expectations and a lot of success coming for your basketball team.
Bring it on.
There you go. Bring it on, says Felicia Leggett Jack. What else would you expect her to say? Well, we're not done with Felicia's team yet, because when we return on UB Basketball Insider, one more fond look back at the top 5 moments of last season. We do that next.
tenacity, ambition, purpose. Here, it's not just what we do, it's how we do it.
Welcome back to UB Basketball Insider. My name is Paul Peck. From Joanna Smith's amazing scoring to Stephanie Reed's memorable buzzer-beating championship basket, there were lots of special moments for the UB women's basketball team. Let's take a look in our top 5 plays.
It's time for the top 5 plays from last season. Number 5.
And you wonder how Buffalo lost to this team by 11 points the first time around. Joanna Smith around 2 defenders. It's the second time she's had that move where she'll drive baseline while she's in the air. She'll go to the right to evade the help defender.
Number 4.
As they were not able to hold on to that loose ball, but behind Baudet taps it away. Reed saves it, then back to Baudet for 2, and the Bulls have taken a 10-point lead. That's 5 points for Baudet, who has hit a 3 and a bucket in just the last couple of minutes.
Number 3.
Not much room to penetrate against this zone defense. Joanna Smith is going to throw up a contested shot and drain it. Her second 3 of today. She has 8 of the Bulls' 10 points. She gets a steal again and then goes up and finishes again. Joanna Smith with 10 early points. We're not even 4 minutes into this game.
Number 2.
Now Shodade, that would have made it a 2-possession team if she made both. She misses both, gets her own rebound though. The basket and the foul! A 3-point play coming up for the freshman Ayoleka Shodade. University of Buffalo women's basketball is advancing to the Mid-American Conference postseason championship game.
Number 1.
3.4 seconds left. Catherine Upps will get it in to Stephanie Reed. She might be the one to take this final shot. She tosses it. Good! The Bulls have got it! Stephanie Reed, a buzzer-beating shot to win the MAC postseason title. The Bulls are going dancing from 8th place to history. University of Buffalo women's basketball is dancing thanks to a last-second buzzer beater from Stephanie Reed.
Well, thanks for watching this week's edition of UB Basketball Insider. The regular season opener for Felicia's women's team comes up this Friday when they host UMass right here at Alumni Arena. And the following day, Saturday, it's the football season finale at home as the Bulls take on Miami of Ohio. It'll be Nerds Gone Wild on the Stampede Square concert stage. We hope to see you for all of the exciting action here on campus. But thanks for watching this week's edition of UB Basketball Insider.